Sorry. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's great. Let me get rid of this though. Continue.
Yeah,
You're recording now?
yeah, I'm recording now.
Okay.
Hi, Lloyd. How are you today?
Sounds good. Here. For your fans and for you.
Thank you.
Do you know what that is? It's by Prokofiev.
That moved me.
It's Peter and the Wolf. It's the cat from Peter and the Wolf.
Oh man. Do you mind if
Now,
I
I don't hear you very well.
What?
I don't hear you very well. It sounds like there's some kind of interference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your level is very low.
Very low. How about I talk louder? Is that better?
Yeah, that's probably better. I could
Yeah,
get earphones. It does sound, you sound kind of, muffled a little bit.
Here.
Is there some electric stuff near you or?
Oh yeah, this is like pretty much the recording studio right here, what I do.
Oh, okay. Hold on. One more second, please. Can I get you anything?
Yeah.
What would you like?
$0 bill.
Get you a beer. Metaverse will be able to do that.
Thank you. Lloyd, can you hear me?
Okay, sorry, I apologize.
No, you're fine.
I have a bit of a cold, so I was blowing my nose.
No, you're all
Actually blow my nose. The other mainstream directors, they don't have to worry about, they don't blow their nose. They just don't do it. Anyway, do you want more clarinet or you want to launch into the?
Can I give you a tarot reading?
Huh?
Can I give you a tarot reading?
Camera readings?
Or a tarot reading?
Oh. I can barely hear you. That's the problem. It's really hard to understand what you're saying. But keep going. I see we're recording.
Okay, I mean, I can adjust this. Do I sound better now?
Yes. Yes.
The problem was my headphones, actually.
Ah, well.
Well, there we go. Great. Great. I'm glad that's resolved. So yeah, can I give you a tarot reading?
Why not?
Why not? Do you want it on Shitstorm?
Sure. Hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm. I think I already know the future. And it ain't rosy.
So I'm
I don't need
gonna bring the deck. Okay.
But go ahead, do the tarot.
Okay.
The trouble is, we know the future for hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm.
Knight of Pentacles.
It be a failure. It already is a failure. So maybe
I see a beautiful
Toxic Avenger. Why don't you try trying to make my jacket look better? Why don't you try the Toxic Avenger reimagining by Legendary? A big $100 million or big movie with big stars.
Okay.
That would be a good one to read the tarot on, if you don't mind.
So the past is the Fool, which also means like beginnings, innocence. We got Nine of Swords in reverse. I'm not going to expand on that. I don't know what it means. Nine of Wands. Oh, you're going to make it through. It's like it's going to be a little way. It's going to go like a little. It's going to be a movie, you know?
Well, it is a movie. It's finished. What's the future of it? The Toxic Avenger reimagining. They spent, Kevin Bacon is in it. Peter Dinkins plays Toxie, the dwarf. He plays Toxie. And what's his name? Elijah Wood. There's a bunch of stars in it. And
I'm excited for that movie, Lloyd.
They haven't finished the movie. They finished shooting, but they're now tweaking and music and stuff like that. So what about the future?
I think it's gonna go great. I think the rematch. I think it's exactly what audiences want right now. You see with like Stranger Things and all that.
Is
Like,
that what the cards, do the cards, the tarot cards tell you that?
your advice is 5 Cubs, which is like you gotta own it. Oh, yeah, it's gonna go great, man.
Ha!
You got the 3 of Cups.
You want to make a little side bet? Oh, no, the Toxie thing may be great. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
I didn't direct that, so it might be successful. You never know. The
Justice,
guy who
that's
is
major
very
arcana.
talented. Huh?
Justice, that's major arcana. You're gonna get justice.
Oh,
Yeah, that's lifetime right there.
that was what position did he play on the Yankees, that guy? The
I'm pretty
baseball
sure that's
cards?
Derek Jeter.
I still have my baseball card collection, by the way. From the 50s, no less, from the 50s.
Do you give people readings with them?
Pardon?
You should give people readings with them.
With the cards?
Yeah.
The baseball cards?
Yeah, that would be a good bit.
It would be, yeah, you're right. I should put them in a movie. Maybe the value will go up. Right? And say that these were, put it in the script. They were Babe Ruth's collection or something.
Actually, that's really funny. Okay. Now that I got some funniness in there, loosen up the room. I got
Can the cards tell you when I could throw off these mortal coils?
just keep
How
going
much longer do I have to suffer through this life?
for a
I
bit.
don't know what that means. I know baseball cards from 1950 through the 60s. I don't know what those things mean. So how long do I have? I would love to know that.
I think you got a good long life ahead of you, Lloyd. That's
Oh, come on, that's bullshit.
I see. Look, I just pulled strength.
What? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
You're like covered. You're strong. Like it's like I thought. I don't know if that's like a good question to ask the cards. I think the cards are like, we want to encourage you because you got to see the new Toxic Avenger reboot.
That's okay. I don't need to see anything. I'm happy to go up to that great editing room in the sky. I'm just waiting to die. Any rate, on that happy note, let's keep going.
So let me start with an obvious question. What was it like when to see Toxic Avenger blow up when you first made that? Like
it took a long time. It didn't just blow up. When we finished it, nobody wanted it. No, the theaters didn't want to play it because they didn't get it. It wasn't a horror film. It was funny and disgusting and political and slapstickable and about the environment, and they didn't want it. And we took the Toxic Avenger to the Cannes Film Festival and promoted it quite lavishly, and it was, nobody wanted it. We couldn't sell it even. We made one sale to the French. They got it. They understood what it was, and we made a nice deal. And then one little theater in Greenwich Village, the woman who owned it was French. Interesting. Jackie Raynal, or the woman who ran it. And she was a Warhol person. And she understood the Toxic Avenger, and she booked it. And I think she booked it as a midnight, if I remember correctly. But the day that it began, there was a huge line around the block. Maybe it wasn't the midnight. Somehow I keep thinking it's, well, anyway, the day that it opened with very little advertising, had a huge line. But people didn't understand the movie. Once they understood it, found its audience grew, and then thanks to video cassette, the Toxic Avenger was a seminal. That's not my word. I would say seminal, but that's something else. That's something you get in the Navy. a guy who used to work for us ran a movie division for the big video company. Crap. They were in the days when video cassette first started. Vestron Video. They hired him to do some theatrical distribution for them. For their in-house, they were going to make in-house movies, and they put Toxic Avenger out on half-inch, and it was a huge hit. And up until then, video cassette was thought of mainly as a self-improvement, like the Jane Fonda exercises, or Michael Jackson music video, or squeaky, squeaky, squeaky clean. They for some reason they didn't think, well, it was very new, but they didn't think it was going to work for. And then they tried to. In fact, they opened a different brand, not Vestron. It was called Lightning Video, and the Toxic Avenger took off, huge, huge, huge. And so they started making their own. Vestron started making movies too.
Oh man, that's a great story. And to me, I like one thing I like about Trauma is its perseverance. How long has Trauma been up and running?
I would never say we're up nor running, but Trauma has been in existence for this will be 50 fucking years. Michael Hers and I have been partners for 50 fucking years.
That's awesome.
We've also been married, not to the same woman or to each other, but we each have wives to whom we have been married for 50 fucking years. Yeah. True, that's true. And that's pretty, I'd say I'm pretty proud of that. Just those things I just told you.
Those are all great things to be proud of, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's more important than making movies.
Well, that is making movies.
That's the biggest lie I ever told.
I just want
to have children, have a family, children, and grandchildren. Oh, yes.
The real things.
Make your dotage as miserable as possible. Anyway, how about some clarinet? What would you like to hear?
Do you know any Kenny G?
Any what?
Kenny G. I love this interview, man. This is great.
Scorsese don't play no. Actually, what you talked about? Begin with P. Perseverance, right?
Yeah.
50 years of Trauma with no backing from anybody.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Mainstream help. Nobody, nobody does business with us.
Well,
and it's perseverance. You're right. And Woody Allen says that success is 88% just showing up. Of course, he's fucking his daughter, apparently, but still sounds like good advice. I'd say perseverance is very good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like you always get to say exactly what you want with your films too, and you're making
to the extent that the budget will permit.
Yeah.
That's a big, that's a big issue. But, and the compromise there is, we can't take 8 hours to light a bathroom. We can't, we don't have all the best equipment. We don't have the best a crew because they're all young people just starting out. We don't have the actors who we are using are not stars. They're very, very, very talented, usually young people who are extremely talented, and many of whom have become big stars. But for $450,000, hashtag Shakespeare shitstorm, if you had to make that in the mainstream, even without the actors, it would be $50 million.
Yeah.
got trained whales. We shot in Albania. There's just unlimited practical effects and CGI, and it's got a score, orchestral score. I mean, no joke. It would be $50 million, but instead it's less than $500,000, and
I feel like you get pretty close to
rejected
it.
almost every film festival.
And I feel like you still get pretty close with your vision, and you still.
Oh yeah, I've got, I've been lucky. Sure, I can't say I've had fun because it's very stressful, but I get to promote all these themes.
Yeah,
in addition
exactly.
To giving movies that are entertainment and fun for younger people and older people. I've been able to say things like what I said in hashtag Shakespeare's shitstorm, and let them cancel me. How are they going to cancel me? I don't make any money anyway, so my following can't get any smaller. So I think that's why I do have a pretty big following, is because there are a lot of people out there who liked Al Franken, our senator, and didn't want that cunt, whatever her name is, to kick him out of the Senate. Right, his own party, his own cunt. What's her name? Kristen. She's a pig. She's a whatever. I don't know. And she's like in my opinion, she's a rich girl born out of the parents of thugs, upstate bureaucratic thugs, my opinion, and got appointed to Hillary's seat. And, once they're in, you can't get rid of them. She voted for, she's awful. And then on top of it, she for political gain, just to push herself up, she went after her own party member, Al Franken, for some kind of goofy picture he photographed from 30 or 40 years ago. So fuck Kristen Gillibrand. Fuck her. Fuck her.
I'm glad that you're so outspoken on politics, and I'm very frustrated with the bureaucracy.
Well, you have to be careful. You don't want to slander people.
Yeah.
But in her case, she did go after Franken. And Franken was, like Shakespeare's wife, beyond reproach. She didn't do anything. She did it, in my opinion, purely to promote herself. It was her own party, too, the Democratic Party.
Hey, and politics to me is the nastiest business of them all. You got to be pretty cut.
Well, the movie business is pretty nasty, which is why Uncle Lloyd here has been very lucky to be deep in the roots of the underground and been able to support naturally with my wife's help, because she was the film commissioner and she was the big earner. So between the two of us, we were able to put the kids through Yale and Harvard and Columbia, and have a decent life, even though we're in the underground. And we can, I've been making movies for 50 years, and there's yet to be one New York member of the Fourth Estate that has any interest, right? No interest in 50 years of trauma. We own the building. I've written 7 books. We've made movies here for 50 years. We discovered James Gunn, Eli Roth, Samuel Jackson's first movie. Oliver Stone discovered him. I mean, I can go on for an hour talking about that.
You also
all
have
the things we've accomplished. At the Toxic Avenger, the only superhero movie to be made into every other form of media, cartoon, Broadway musical, comic, Marvel comics, more than any other superhero. And because most of the other superheroes haven't had Broadway musicals, or they haven't had comic books, or they haven't had something else. Toxie has coloring book, you've got everything. And yet most of the world has never heard of him. I go to California, the movie industry, the ground zero for the movie industry. I would say more than half of the professionals, they have never heard of Troma, and they haven't even heard of the Toxic Avenger. A lot of people have not heard of Troma, most people. But of those people, there's usually about half of the people who never heard of us. They've heard of the Toxic Avenger. They're not sure what it is, but they've heard the name.
Well, I want you to know when I do stand up, the people at my open mic love Trauma. You got some fans. Definitely in
Well, great.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we do have a good reach.
Yeah.
And the Trauma fans are absolutely the best, Tate. They are the good.
Yeah.
I just went to California. We don't have any real money. So, to spend $130 on an Uber from the airport, Trauma fans picked me up. They took me to Santa Ana, to my hotel there. Trauma fans in Santa Ana helped us set the merchandise booth. We had a fan in Santa Ana portray Toxie. We showed Divide and Conquer by Mercedes the Muse, but we put on a pretty good show. We had T-shirts and toys and all sorts of Trauma merchandise, especially Toxie. And Divide and Conquer had a good audience, and everything was through volunteers. And then I had to go back. I had to go from Santa Ana to Glendale, Los Angeles, because hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm was opening at the Lemley Glendale. And this great guy who was a volunteer drove me from Santa Ana to LA and hung out. And then we had other volunteers sorry.
You're fine.
I don't have pants on. You couldn't see my penis because it's the tiniest you can see.
Oh,
we didn't even bother circumcising.
did it even bother?
They tried, but it was too small. So we, it was really great because I got to know the fans and hear them and get their opinions, the volunteers. Yeah. And we had Toxie, a different Toxie for 2 of the nights, and then the same Toxie. No, I think we had 4 different, two. We had 3 different Toxies for 4 different evenings. Yeah. And, getting to the volunteers are usually MAs or graduate students or serious filmmakers, or the Trauma fans are extremely, they're smart.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
They're not rich. They're not a lot at Yale or Harvard, but they know what's going on. They know what they know, and they know the right slant. They get it. They get the fact that well, I don't want to talk politics, but they know enough to realize that we're fucked.
Well, and I feel like I'm always good friends with anyone I know from Trauma, or I met Dylan when I was in the Trauma office, and we're still really
He's brilliant, right? Dylan's great.
I love Dylan.
Dylan wrote. We were in Albania.
Yeah.
Wrote while she was in Albania, while I was watching porn in our downtown. Dylan was writing the theme song for hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm, and it's a really good song and clever because it removes it's just and it doesn't have the hashtag, which is good, and there's a shitstorm and blah, blah, blah. It's a catchy tune, and I think she'll do well with the publishing. I think it's going to do, if the film sells a little bit in Europe, she'll get royalties on the music.
I definitely think it would do well over there, like you just gotta.
Yeah, well, it's very hard to get distribution anywhere these days.
The paper parts say otherwise.
Our stuff is not exactly
accurate. I know it's pseudoscience.
Yeah.
It's part of. I did so the film I did, Psychic Vampire. There's like a lot of terror and shit.
Yeah, what happened to that movie? Where is that?
That's going to be on Trauma now.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you in it?
Yeah, I'm in it, and I wrote, directed, and I co-produced with Dylan. And,
oh, I got to see it. Yeah, I must see it.
Yeah, I think
perhaps if you have my email, you could send it a link or send it to Gideon, and I'll watch it.
Okay, cool. Because I think I tried to send it before. I sent it before, and I don't know if it
To me?
Yeah, it's okay. I
Oh,
remember.
send it to Gideon and me. And
Yeah, I'll
now
send
that I
it.
know you better, I'll definitely want to watch it. It sounds great.
Yeah,
Also, the fact that you write, produce, direct, and act.
I
What do
edited
you
it
think of
too.
that? Do you want to do that again?
I definitely love doing that stuff. Yeah,
Oh, good. And so it wasn't too stressful to do it all.
we had a great time. Like we shot it in 7 days, and uh, I mean the editing took 2 years. I'd say that was
Where did you shoot?
Pennsylvania. I shot down where I live because I based it on a real cult that happened down here,
Where did you shoot? Where in Pennsylvania?
Lancaster,
Lancaster.
where
Well,
the Amish are.
Mahoning Drive-In's up there, right?
Yeah,
Or no?
I'm gonna come to Trauma Dance. So
Good. Well, we ought to be showing, well, I don't have anything to do with Trauma Dance, but sounds great. Well,
yeah,
I'm
because
glad it's going to be on Trauma Now. I'd really love to see it.
yeah, I'll send you the link again because I thought you were really funny in it, and I'm so I like
Send it to me.
also I remember when you were on set with us and Dylan, and like I felt like we were probably using like a lot of like Gen Z dialogue, you know, and you said at one point, "I'm okay, boomer," and I was like, "That is the funniest thing I've ever heard."
Well, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be in the fullness of time. I don't know that that's going to be up there with to be or not to be.
It should be.
Thanks for enjoying that.
Yeah, I thought that was a really fun.
I'd like to see you, now that I know you a little better, see you on screen, and it's always fun when you know somebody a little bit and then you see them on screen, and you sort of think you know their real personality, and then you see what they're doing, and whether it comports to their own soul, or whether they literally have taken over another soul.
I feel like I had to be someone completely different for my movie because it was based on a cult, so I played a cult leader.
Yeah, so you had to do that, yeah.
Yeah, because well, and I mean, there was like a few experiences. Like once I had someone come up to me and just randomly do Reiki magic on me. So
Do
we
what
did.
on you?
Some person came up to me and was like, "Can I do Reiki magic?" And like before I could say yes or no, was like scooping my aura away from my body.
Wow.
Being
That's
very vocal.
interesting. Why you? Why you?
I don't know. I just attract that type of person. I feel like definitely when I lived in New York, I had a bunch of people like come up to me. They're like, I remember I had a guy come up to me and he was like, "Look at the blood moon, follow me to the blood moon." And I was like, I am not.
Well, the blood moon was not too long ago, I think, right?
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Well, and then there was
Well,
the
you're a
strawberry.
good-looking dude, so imagine there's some motive there. I know that's my agenda. So,
There
what
was
do you think
probably
why do they focus on you?
I don't know. I think it's because I'm pretty friendly. Like I very open type of person.
Are you from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that explains it. You're not from New York.
Oh yeah. Got a little bit of
You're
naivety.
not a total douche. What?
Yeah.
What? Hold on. Oh, what about the thing we just talked about? Before we just got onto that subject, was something to do with your on-film presence.
Oh yeah. So I did a Reiki scene where I was scooping and being very vocal about it. Kind of just reenacting what happened to me to one of my actors, and it's one of the funnier scenes in the movie. It's kind of I feel like it. That's why I love Trauma too, because I was like, oh, well, one, giving me a chance, appreciate that so much, and because definitely my film is kind of like how you make films. It's very,
Yeah, you can do it.
You can do
just
it.
have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of genre blending, which I feel like is kind of
Yes,
pops out today, you know.
that's right. That's a very trauma thing, is the mixing of the genres. And that's why they, in the good old days, in the dark backward of the time we called the 80s, the store, there were like 1,500 or 2,000 trauma sections in stores because they couldn't figure out where to put us, because comedy, horror, sex, slapstick, political, so all in one movie, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely, trauma definitely, like, I saw Toxic Avenger when I was like 16, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, because I just love the self-awareness,
well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by the self-awareness?
I think that it's like you used your budget like as best, like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's part of you could see behind the curtain, you mean?
yeah, and I like that. And I
Part
felt
of
like
the fun, yeah. Yes, I think our fans very much like that. And back in the 70s, I had a movie, because our movies were so rough around the edges, I'd have people talking to the camera, you know, kind of talking to the audience. And the critics and the public didn't like that.
but
But
it's such a joke
now,
now. Yeah.
Deadpool, all the superheroes do that now, right?
Malcolm in the Middle.
They turn to whatever, they pull somebody's head off and they turn to the camera and oh, I feel terrible. And we did that for the 50 years, and now it's very fashionable.
It's very ahead of its time, you know. I could definitely see that. I was
Well, the Deadpool people talk about us all the time. James Gunn, he
Quentin
puts me in
Tarantino.
his Guardians and his, what is it called? Suicide Squad movies. He's totally influenced by his years at Troma.
Yeah, and you can see it with the genre blending, the use of
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Comedy and characters, creating
Good
pathos
characters, yeah.
within the mindset of violence and sex, and but very well, he doesn't have sex in his movies. But
Well, and I feel like that's kind of ties.
he's got sci-fi. They have
self-awareness,
sci-fi. Yeah.
you know.
And they got huge stars.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and he's one of my, you know, he's a great director. Like I love his work. You
Well,
know?
James Gunn is a lovely person, and the stars,
I even liked his video games.
Pratt and Zoe, and I've met them all. The wrestler Balboa, what's his name?
Oh yeah,
They're all nice people. They're real people. Because I was just you know, I've been, you know, basically an extra, and he, you know, they talk and they, you know, it's you can sense when they're assholes, and they're always nice people with him. His agent, his manager, they've been with him since he left Troma, right? He's had or maybe while he was at Troma, I don't know, but he just, and the crew, they love him too. Most of his crew are young and love cinema and all that. You know, they really like cinema. They're not there for the golden time or, you know, stealing petty cash. They're there to make a movie, which is unusual for in my career. In the old days, it's unusual.
Troma definitely ignites like very passionate people. It feels like, you know. Like,
yes, no question about it.
And like I feel like kind of like this thing we're doing right now is kind of like a peek behind the curtain too, because like that's what I like about. You're very open about the process. Like you have the book with James Gunn, you have, you know, direct your own damn movie, produce your own damn movie. And you have all of this work on how young filmmakers can, you know, create movies, just like Get Up and Go, you know.
Well, on Troma now, there's got to be 50 lessons, 50 video lessons that came out of my books. Make your own damn movie, direct your own damn movie, produce your own damn movie, sell your own damn movie. But I did every time I've been on a movie as an actor, not every time, but usually I film a little behind the scenes, because very often the young people like you, Tate, they have figured out ways to build the interior of a rocket ship for $100. And I filmed the day I was on set, that was the set. and I filmed the director and how it went. There's a lot of good lessons on filmmaking, how we raise money, how to make blood, casting, showing how we do our casting, and my books. My books are devoted half to the. Each book is sort of half the trauma way, and then half the correct way. And I interview Oscar-winning directors or Oscar-winning actors or underground directors or festival, people, movie stars like Karen Black. I interview the mainstream as well as telling people how trauma does it, so they can sort of take their pick.
I found a lot of the advice to be really helpful myself, and
Good. Yeah, I don't understand why these film schools, what is it? Why doesn't NYU, why doesn't USC, why don't they have my books in
I
their
don't know.
libraries? What the hell's wrong with them?
I don't know.
I mean, really, 50 years of,
Because
and
all the
anybody can
papers-
do, I don't think the elites want people like you, Tate, to understand that making a movie is not rocket science. Once you have the talent, if you have the talent, the rest is basically common sense.
Yeah.
And how difficult it is to push a button on a camera, how difficult it is to drive a truck, it's all easy.
It's just believing in yourself.
So, but I think they want to keep it exclusive. So they don't want the stuff that we do to get out there. Right?
Yes,
They'll have John Waters, something by John Waters, the little puppy dog, their little lap dog, right?
You got something against John Waters?
What's that?
What happened with John Waters?
Nothing.
Oh.
But I don't, that's the kind of, those are the people that, he's the kind of person that they love.
Oh.
They love him. Right? That's their, whatever he is their version of independent.
What do you think it was like to, like, when you made like Squeeze Play and you were mainly like a comedy company? Like, what happened when you transitioned to Toxic Avenger? Like, I felt like that was such a wild phase.
When I transitioned, well, I was I tell my children when they were little kids that actually when I was born, I was a very beautiful baby girl. And my nurse took me to the park and I was kidnapped and replaced with a very ugly boy. So in that sense, I have transitioned.
Okay.
When I hear the word transition now, it's like, woo, oh my God, that's a wonderful, that's a great, you deserve an Academy Award for that. Right. And this Senator douchebag, what's it? Schumer, he's on Twitter holding up a piece of paper that says pride. Right, this fucker never helped us with pride. This fucker is a fucking limousine liberal, scumbag. Right? Where was he when the gay people were being murdered and trashed and beaten up by cops? He never said a word of it. And now suddenly he's got pride. Anyway,
It's okay. I agree.
I'm just a bitter, sad old man.
Okay, don't tear yourself up, Lloyd. You're it's definitely.
Well, it is so hypocritical, the stuff that goes on, and NBC, the main networks who have been guilty of probably the most guilty of harassing women, paying women less, prejudice against minorities, and now all of them have these. Hi, I'm a gay guy, and I work for Comcast, Universal, NBC, and you know what you should do? Get yourself an advocate. Get yourself an advocate, and because Comcast, NBC we are doing everything for diversity and fuck you. I mean, it's about time.
They turn pride
About
into,
fucking time. Give me a break.
I feel like they turn pride into like a marketing tactic.
Yeah,
What's so exhausting about it, like
it's just the hypocrisy is what
yeah, it's the hypocrisy because they're selling it, but then they're not really practicing it. Like
I guess it's better than saying kill the Jews. I guess it's better than that
True.
message.
True, it is like that.
Although
Hey,
we're getting to the point, I think, where the anti-Semitism is getting way, way active.
and yeah, and unfortunately with Trump and all those other types of like the hate speech just kind of rising right now.
Well, and you're around the world.
Yeah, just around the
But
world.
we have a country of ignoramus. We have a country of idiots. So, and that's not their fault. That's the fault of our government. Our government chose to invest in bombs, not in education. And when they do invest in education, the money doesn't go for the little kids. It goes into the pockets of vendors. It goes into the pockets of the plumbing and the construction and the food, the caterers. Ketchup is considered a food. It's just we have a system that is like a sandcastle. That's water is slowly deteriorating it from inside, and it's
it's going to deteriorate then. Like it's going to eventually crash. That's where I get the call.
Unless young people really, young people getting a raw deal, right? They're locked into student loans, which is a form of after slavery. The slaves became sharecroppers or what, but it was another form of slavery. They had to get loans. They're basically owned by banks and the rich people. And the students who got loans to pay off the loans for their worthless college degrees had to go work for McDonald's and gas stations. So how many lives have been sacrificed? How many intelligent kids who could have gone on to do something are baristas fighting for unionization at Starbucks, who probably ought to be lawyers or inventing cures for cancer, but they're pumping gas.
That's a really real thought. I agree.
Yeah, we have a very we blew it. We have we have to get back to the babies, those little babies, and give them home care and it should be for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
free housing.
Kind of go
that.
into one of these, like a diner, and someone my age is waiting on me. I'm thinking, what the fuck? You shouldn't have to be doing that. Or cleaning my hotel room.
I know.
And getting minimum wage for that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Lawyers getting $1,000 an hour for pumping. Hey, Kamala, we finally have a vice president we can be proud of. She got $450,000 for her book, which is a children's book, right?
Uh-huh.
My friend, the donkey, or my donkey, gay donkey, or or something politically correct. But I'm sorry. Do most first-time authors of children's books get $450,000 up front?
Yeah,
it's all fucked up. It's ridiculous. But what are you going to do?
Hopefully, people are going to stand up. I feel like people will get tired of it at a point, or someone's going to crack the code or something. But maybe that's just.
What do you think? What do you think? Do you think we're going to have World War III?
Not World War III, but like maybe like a revolution, like internally a little bit. Because I feel like.
Well, that's not good.
I know that's not good in itself, but like if things get worse.
What's next for you, Tate?
For me, I'm planning to self-produce another feature. It's going to be like a comedy slasher called Pizza Guy 8. And
what? Pizza what?
Pizza Guy 8. Like
Nice.
it's the 8th movie, but the first 7 don't exist.
Well, I hope you will give me a cameo. I'm
Oh
expecting,
yeah, I would
I'm
love that.
expecting to be part of your ensemble.
Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate
Of course, thank you.
that. Yeah.
Right? We should do something behind the scenes too, of something that you have solved or something you'd like to show other students, right?
Yeah, because I feel like with when I shot Psychic Vampire, it was very easy, but we still had issues. Like even during shooting, like we were planning to shoot in one house mainly, and the dude was like, "You can't shoot here anymore."
Yes, my books talk about that.
Yeah.
No matter what location you have, contracts mean absolutely nothing. If the owner of the place don't want you, he can kick you out. And
Yeah.
you want to sue him? Yeah, go sue him. And we had that problem with Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
James
really?
Gunn and I still laugh about it
Oh,
because it was supposed to be Juliet's bedroom, and the old man who owned the house in Park Slope, for some reason, wanted to kick us out, or we ran over the time limit, whatever it was. And there was a guy who was in our cast named Val, and the old man had a crush on Val. And James Gunn kept telling Val, "Go talk to him. Go. We need more time. We need more time." And Val did not get ass fucked, but we got a little more time. And the old man, I guess he was satiated, got, or at least he was happy. He gave us some of the wallpaper, so we were able to build a corner of his set with the wallpaper that's on the set, so we could reproduce it at the Troma building.
that's incredible. So I'm glad we had a shared experience.
So you had the same problem. And I always insist with our crew, yes, that's a wonderful location, but now get plan B just in case. Where would we go? We could go to the Troma basement. We could go to find something that if we can't get in, and also find out who has the key to the shop or the place, and get that person's phone number. So otherwise you'll have your entire crew and cast hanging outside in the street. And if you have trucks and equipment, they'll all be out in the street there.
We
You don't learn that in film school, you can't learn that.
Yeah, you just got to do it. Like that's the thing. Like,
Well, I think my wife, I hear her calling.
oh, okay.
I'll play myself out. If you want to do another chapter, just tell Gideon and we can do it again.
Yeah, it was great talking to you, Lloyd.
Yeah, good talking to you, Tate. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in Pennsylvania right now.
Oh, yeah. No, good,
Yeah.
good. Well, I hope maybe you'll come to Troma Dance and we'll get to hang out a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Cool. And good luck with your new movie.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, no.